if you're an organization that buys lots of training, especially if you have a large cadre of people in your organization that are currently trying to do the Scrum Master role, then the most valuable purchase you could make is immersive learning. And the reason that's much more valuable for your organization is that it gives the people in your organization the ability to close that loop on their learning. So normally when you're training, you learn something, and then you learn something else, and then you learn something else, and then you learn something else. And by the time you get to the end of that process, you've probably forgotten 80% of all of the things that came before. And maybe when you come out of that training class, there are few things, actionable things, right? Those hints and tips and topics and stories and how-tos. There's only maybe a few of those you can actually try. You've increased the level of baseline knowledge in your organization, right? Everybody now understands perhaps what Scrum is and what a Scrum Master is. But have they actually internalized any of those learnings, and how much of those learnings are they actually able to put into practice? And the key value, additional value in immersive learning, is in allowing the people in your organization to actually put the things into practice. And we enable that in the form of assignments. So each person in the class is given an assignment. It's probably the same assignment for everybody. But if you've got a bunch of Scrum Masters you're bringing to the class, they're going to go off into their teams with either with their teams or with their leadership, or in that area, in that context, and they're going to try one of these things, one of these exercises. So an assignment might be, I'm trying to think of what an example assignment might be. My favorite topic is definition of done, quality. Are we creating enough quality in a product? And one of the assignments might be to go talk to the team and ask them about their definition of done. And if they don't have a definition of done, help them create one and put it into action. That could be an assignment for a Scrum Master to do. And if the only thing that came out of the entire class was that all of your Scrum Masters, all of your teams had a definition of done and it was actually actualized, then that would be a total boon for your entire organization in enabling that level of quality. But that's just one of the exercises that we might do, one of the assignments that the teams might get. And not only do they do the assignment, right, but they come back at the beginning of the next session and they explain, what did you do? How did it go? What were the problems that you ran into? Closing that learning loop again, and figuring out, well, you didn't get the outcome that you wanted. Here are some other things you can try. And that can come from both from the facilitator of the debrief, right? But also from the other people in your organization who've actually done that thing inside of your organization. If you bring 12 Scrum Masters to a training class, and those 12 Scrum Masters all go and try and do this definition of done, some of them will be successful and some of them won't. Some of them will be very successful and some will only be a little bit successful, right? So why were certain Scrum Masters successful? Why were other ones not? How do we bring that knowledge together so that they can assess for themselves what other ways to do things? Because quite often I've done a lot of private training classes, and you find that even inside an organization, one person will say, no, there's no way you can do this thing. It's not possible within our organization. And then there's somebody over in one of the side videos will go, oh, we do it. Our team does that, and we do it very well, and we do it within the bounds of the organizational constraints. And then the other person's like, holy crap, How do you do that? Who do you speak to? How can we get some of that as well? And even that sharing of knowledge. We've tried something, it works here, it doesn't work here, and closing those feedback loops, bringing those conversations together are the whole reason that the immersive learning classes are going to be much more beneficial to organizations than the traditional approach. If you want to have a discussion about how immersive classes can revolutionize your training experience, then please book a call on our website. Alternatively, you can find all of our public immersive classes listed there as well, and we would love to hear from you.